Hi everyone, this is Dr. Pathology this side, and I hope all of you are doing well. And I've gone through my previous video. I have seen the comment section as well, where I have received certain inputs for the upcoming videos and the appreciation for this one. So, continuing with that, we are going to move on to the next video, which is about today. And here we're going to talk about three major things, which is the first one will be the source selection, which I feel is the most important thing for the Neet PG journey, because if the source selection is right, everything goes right in the journey ahead. Secondly, the timeline of the preparation, how we have to divide the months. And thirdly, the notes making strategy, which is the very important strategy, which I feel, right? So before moving on to that, I would like to inform all of you that I have created a page, Instagram page by the name Neet PG underscore the journey. The link for the same is there in my description. So I would really request all of you, those of who are following my channel, to go through that page, because I have uploaded very important content there. First and foremost being the previous year's questions, which have been segregated subject wise, year wise, and in fact subject maybe topic wise. So it is going to be of great help during your preparation, because you will be knowing what is important and what is not, what you have to actually hammer when you are approaching the exam. Secondly, I have uploaded almost all the important pictures from my 20th notebook, my wrong diary, and my volatile topics. Everything is being there, the flowcharts and the tables and diagrams which I made myself, concising the notes, which are surely going to help you. Certain lists, certain markers, everything is there, right? And so yeah, just go through that, and I hope it is going to help you in the best possible way. So now let's move ahead with the most important thing, which is the source selection. See, the source selection, I feel in the market there are many sources which are actually coming around. We have DAMS, we have Marrow, we have Prep Ladder, Bhartiya, Cerebellum Academy, PG Med, and you might have many more tutorials is there actually. So you will find most of them marketing there, and all of them are going to advertise themselves in the best possible way. Now it is absolutely your thought process how you are actually going to decide the source. See, I feel if the source selection is right in the very beginning of the preparation, you can absolutely go ahead with the journey in a very smooth manner. If at all you have selected your source in hush and hush, and then during your mid of the journey or end of the journey you realize that the source selection was not right, so I don't think it is going to be of much help, because at that point of time you'll not be able to change your source, or maybe change subjects or notes or whatever it is. So I personally have used DAMS and Marrow. In my previous attempt I did use Marrow, and I not the notes but only the question bank and their grand test and the mocks they had. Now what I found difficult with Marrow was that the question bank is huge. The question bank is absolutely around like 1,000 modules, and each module is going to have around 30-40 questions, and somewhere I feel it's not even important for you to go through that particular thing out there. So according to me, I don't think it should be the most important thing for you to revise all the questions and not focusing on the previous year's questions or the most important ones. So there I found the problem of not being able to revise the question bank when I was approaching the exam, and that gave me goosebumps that yes, I haven't revised a very important part of my preparation, and that gave me some kind of negative thoughts. So I personally changed my source this year when I gave my next attempt, and which was obviously DAMS. With the DAMS, what I like about is it's not that I am promoting DAMS here, it's just I'm sharing my thought process with the platform, because it really helped me in my journey this year, I mean in Neet PG 2023. With DAMS, the notes, the grand test they have, the subject wise test, the mocks they have, the updates they have, the class test they have, and the short courses, which obviously I'll be talking about in detail in my further videos, they have. And the most important two of them, which I figured it out were the most important, were the test and discussion and the DAMS visual treat. So I feel these two sources really helped me, because they gave you the most crisp and concise manner, and they are going to actually help you in revising the subject very rapidly when you are approaching the exam. So it's just that I am sharing what I actually felt with the platform, what I utilized the best with the platform. It's completely up to you. You want to follow DAMS, Marrow, PrepLadder, Bhartiya, or any other platform which is there in the market. Just assess these factors. First of all, the notes. Is the content enough for you to give you the concept? Is the content enough? Secondly, is the content enough to be make you able to solve the MCQs? Are you able to hit the MCQ right? Are you getting the MCQ solving strategy. I mean, if around like 50 MCQs you're solving in a day, are you able to hit 40 45 plus? Only then you are going to cross the target score in the Neet PG exam, right? And thirdly, it should not be vast, right? It should not be something you have around 1200 pages for medicine and which you are not able to revise when you're approaching the exam. So I feel these are the factors you should judge and gauge when you're opting for any platform. And if any of the platform is justifying that, go with that. It's not only you have to follow dams or marrow or something which I'm saying, no. So I'll just briefly tell about the sources which I followed for my preparation. For anatomy, I did Bhatia Ashwini sir. I guess he is the best in that. His notes are very crisp and concise, and I think nothing out of that was there, and I was able to solve almost all the MCQs. Something which is very conceptual, for which you have to obviously go through atlas images and you need to learn, recall, rectify. That is something very different. But if you want to get the concept right, he's the best in that. Physiology, it was Anupma ma'am. Dance, she is amazing in that. Biochemistry, I did from Marrow, Dr. Rebecca James, because why I feel her notes are just fab, because she is going to actually give you the background of a particular topic, like any of the cycles. Suppose यूरिया cycle ही ले लो, यूरिया cycle से पहले she is going to actually tell you about all the important aspects of that, and then she is going to get the cycle made, so you do not have to actually cram the cycle. Even about the energetics and everything, she is going to give the right concept, so that you do not have to rectify that, okay fine, itna ATP इसमें उतना उसमें FAD, no, nothing like that. So I personally feel she is very amazing in that. Pharmacology, it was Ranjan sir, and his notes were the fab, because he is again the same like Rebecca ma'am. He's going to give you the background, he's going to use flowcharts, diagrams, and mnemonics and everything. So he's going to make pharma easier, right? Pharma is never easier, because obviously it's a very very volatile subject, and you are going to forget the subject in I mean, if you revise it yesterday, you have to revise it again in a year, I mean in a day or two. Alright, so likewise, I feel pharma, you have to actually make the concepts right. Then we come with pathology. Pathology, Devesh Mishra sir, without any doubt. Not only his notes, but there is a separate booklet which is going to come if you subscribe via his app, right? If you order via his app, and that booklet will have around 500 images, and those images are more than sufficient to give you the right background of general path, hemat, and systemic path. I just revised those images, and path will not have any different or extra images, right, in the exam. So they're going to ask you the basic questions. So I feel it is going to be the best thing to go with Devesh Mishra sir's notes, because his notes are also very crisp and concise. He's going to actually teach you the concept well, and the image booklet which I have told about. Then microbiology, I did from Prep Ladder. I don't remember the name actually, but yes, I did it from there, and the notes were very crisp and concise. So it was not that very very vast microbiology that you're not able to remember, because again, micro is a very volatile one like pharma and biochemistry. So I feel you need to target the right portion, and to just analyze what is there to be learned and what is there to be understood. So micro, I don't think there is anything to be understood. It is almost all rote learning, right? And then coming to forensic medicine, it was Dr. Jayaprakash Lams, because I feel he's the best, also because of his humor, sense of humor, the way he's actually teaching in the class, and his concept mnemonics, and the way he's actually putting everything in the notes and making it a little easier. He's even conducting quizzes on a Telegram channel he has when you and you by the exam. So for that, I'll obviously tell you in upcoming videos what all Telegram channels, Instagram channels you're supposed to follow. Then we're going to come about ophthalmology. Ophthalmology, I did from Marrow, Dr. Rajaratna ma'am. She's not now in Marrow, but yes, I did it from there, and I found it like perfect to be for the Neet PG exam. Sufficient for you to learn, understand, and solve the MCQs. ENT, any day, Deepak sir, he's the best. Deepak sir from DAMS, and he's the best. If any of you have attended his classes, you will figure it out, the way he conceptualize and create that image of a particular portion in your brain. Like ear, if he's explaining, he's going to explain all the walls beautifully, and you are going to remember the relations even after 6 months or maybe a year. So that is how he's going to teach. So he is amazing in that. PSM, I did from Marrow, Mohit sir. I felt he has covered almost all. See, PSM is very vast, so you cannot actually rely on, you know, everything and anything. So you need to pick the right source which is going to give you updates as well, because PSM is all about updates. PSM, medicine, surgery, it's all about updates, and you need to be thorough with that, because I like all of us know, it is going to target only and only updates, right? So there is nothing you have to go ahead of that. It's, there is no use of rectifying the, you know, content and not being knowing what is more important. So with PSM, with Moitza, I feel he was the best in that, and he had explained epidemiology, biostatistics in a very beautiful way, right? Then coming with medicine I did from DAMS, absolutely, Arvind sir, Bharat sir, Srinath sir, and these are absolutely amazing teachers, all of them. I mean, especially Arvind sir's cardiology, GIT, and the ECG, fab. I mean, I found it the most easier way. I learned it the most easier way. ECG used to give me goosebumps during my UG, but when I attended his classes, it was very, very simple. I don't remember, do they still have the short course for ECG on DAMS app still now? But when I did it, they really had it. It was a course of around 3 to 3.5 hours, and I completed it from there. I guess it is still there in the video section of the notes, so you will be able to find it there, right? Otherwise, sir, Arvind sir, in fact, has a YouTube channel as well, and he has uploaded very important videos there as well. Right, then coming on to surgery, none other than Rohan Khandelwal sir. He's the OG. I don't think he is going to actually, you know, make you learn anything extra. He's going to tell you what is required to be revised in the exam, absolutely to the point thing, and you will find it a little easier as well. And his notes are going to give you the MCQs. You will be able to crack them very, very perfectly, right? Then OBGY, none other than Deepti Behel ma'am. She is just the best. She is amazing. I mean, I'm being very, very honest that I was able to revise her notes within 4 to 5 hours as I was approaching my exam. I mean, that was the speed I had, not because it was my speed. I mean, partly that, but the way she has explained and the way she has concised. And if you have attended her DVTs, she, I mean, concise the topics so beautifully. I have uploaded some of the pictures, I mean, some of the screenshots from that on my Instagram page, which I penned down myself listening to her videos. They are going to really help you. They're the flow charts, beautifully explained and beautifully collaborated with different topics as well, so that you may not need to know what are the differentials, right? So just go through the Instagram page I have, and you'll be able to find out what I'm telling about. Then pediatrics, it was Siddharth Sethi sir, DAMS. He's the best, because he's obviously going to give you the updates as well, and he's going to give you what is most important in pediatrics to be revised. See, obviously pediatrics, I feel it's neonatology, because rest everything is overlapping with medicine. So you need to figure it out that neonatology आपको अच्छे से करना है, and obviously growth and development, you have to do it perfectly from your notes, but rest of that you can obviously go with medicine as well. Then coming to orthopedics, Tushar Mehta sir, he is the best for this. Tushar Mehta sir in DAMS, because he has given you perfect notes, and in those notes he has given you around 25 of the list, which are going to really, really help you during your, you know, your revision. And those lists are obviously to be crammed, to be rectified, because there is nothing to understand in that, right? So, but those lists are obviously going to give you certain MCQs as well. So do go through them. Then we come to skin. It was obviously Saurabh Chandra sir from DAMS. I just love his notes, because he has given you a very crisp and concise content in dermatology. It's anyway is not a very, very vast subject, and he has given you flowcharts of how to differentiate between different skin colors, different you know, disorders, and what should be the keyword. His main motive is to tell you the keyword, so that you can pick up the keyword in the exam and just target, because dermatology is a very, very confusing subject as well. So I feel if you know the keywords, you're going to target the question in the MCQ in a much better way, right? Then it comes to psychiatry. It was Sachin sir. He is amazing, because the way he's going to imitate in the exam, in the class while teaching, in context with different patients, that is going to actually, you know, store here, and you're going to recall it when you're solving your MCQs or when you're appearing for the exam, right? And then comes with radiology, Sumer Sethi sir, any day, and every day. I mean, he is going to give you the concept. He is not going to tell you that this is the image and this is something you have to rectify, this is pneumothorax, or maybe this is this particular disorder. No, he's not going to tell you that. He's going to actually give you the concept behind that, that is the main reason you have opted for this particular thing. And then we come with anesthesia, which is obviously Anshul Devakar sir. Anshul Devakar sir has absolutely, he's from DAMS, and he has given you the right content and everything which is required to be learned and to be revised for the MCQ point of view. So these are the sources which I followed and which really helped me. See, I didn't follow a particular source. That is, I didn't follow DAMS in a whole for notes I'm saying, or Marrow, or maybe some other. So I chose what was best for individual subject, because I feel if you're not content with the notes, if you're not satisfied with the notes you're actually reading and revising, and if it is not giving you the ability to mark the MCQs, I don't get the confidence in revising it. So I had to figure it out what was the best source for every subject, and then I approached that particular platform. I mean, in a way or so, with your friends, or maybe you have to borrow from anywhere, you have to manage it from anywhere, and just make the notes once, and then you can keep on revising them. For solving the questions, you can obviously approach one particular platform. That is going to be more than enough. But for the notes, my POV is that you have to actually go with the best. I don't consider that if you've chosen one platform, you have to go with the notes of all the subjects from that particular platform. No, I don't personally feel that way, right? So apart from this, that was about the source, right? And the third most important thing will be, the second most important thing will be the timeline of the preparation. See, the timeline of the preparation is going to go like this. If we consider the exam is going to happen maybe in January or February, so in terms of January we have around 4 months, and in terms of February we have around 5 months, right? So I want all of you to decide to divide it like this. I hope that you have already given the first reading till now, those of you who are in the internship attempt, right? So those of you who have given the first reading, it is going to go like this, that you are absolutely going to divide your timeline with 2 months for the second read, then 1.5 months for the third read, or maybe if somebody who is faster or who can revise rapidly can give 1 month. 1.5 month is also not required, that if I'm saying if to go with that, it's adjustable according to your speed and the way you are actually revising. Then after 1.5 months, I mean, you're done with that, you are left with around 15-20 days, considering the exam is going to happen maybe in January, or maybe if it is in February, you will have around 30 days more. So divided according to that. After September and October will be 2 months for the second read, and then November and half of December will be the third read. Left out 15 days of December, I mean, and 15 days of January if we target that, because the dates are still not out, so they are at least going to give 4 to 5 months of time in hand for the revision. So that is something which you can divide in like 10 days or 15 days. 15 days for the final read, and last 7 days for just touching up and brushing up the most important topics, right? So if I'm clear, 2 months for the second read, considering that you have already done the first read, and then 1.5 months for the third read, remaining 15 or maybe 25 days will have to be divided, like 15 days for the final revision and 7 days for touching up the last most important topics. And a day before the exam, or maybe 2 days before the exam, it's not possible to learn or to revise and to remember, so you have to actually give yourself those days as well, right? Somebody who is going to start fresh, like somebody who is sitting in the counseling and is not getting the seat, or maybe is going to prepare again for Neet PG 2024, so that person is going to have around 4 to 5 months in hand for everything. But I presume that person already had read the notes and revised the notes. So for you, it can be, the timeline can be a little shortened. Like if you have already read the notes perfectly, the second reading might not take you 2 months, it is going to take you maybe 1.5 months, or maybe a little lesser than that, right? So my main focus is on this particular point, that your subsequent readings should take lesser time. You have to concise your notes in a way that they are going to actually take lesser time when you are revising them further. How you have to concise the notes, that I am going to talk about in further videos, and I'm going to talk about each subject individually, that this should be the strategy to concise this particular thing, right? So that is something which I'm going to talk about that. Thirdly, the thing which I'm going to talk about is in this video will be the notes making strategy. Now, all of us are actually running after the printed notes in the market, and every platform is giving the printed notes. Earlier, DAMS was not giving the printed notes, and I thought, okay, DAMS is actually promoting the handwritten notes, but now they have also started giving the printed handwritten notes, right? So they are not printed, but they are handwritten notes. So they look like that it's a little easier to revise them, but I haven't personally gone through them, right? So I feel that printed notes are a big no-no for me, because I am a kind of person who believes in writing, listening to the particular video, understanding the concept, and making your own notes. So those of you are actually in second year or maybe in third year who are starting afresh with the preparation, please select your source and go with your own handwritten notes. Believe me, at this point of time, it might look time consuming, it is taking a lot of time to listen to the videos, to understand, and then absolutely to remember about that. But it is surely going to help you when you are going to revise those notes, and it is going to take you much lesser time, because handwritten notes are going to give you the memory, and the best of the memory in a way. Like I had, if a particular question is going to pop up in front of me, I am going to actually look into the notes wala section. I'm going to recall it. Okay, this topic was here on this page, right hand side, below this particular point, and yes, I might hit it right in the MCQ. So that is how the memory of the handwritten notes is going to actually come with you, and that is going to be the best thing which somebody who has the handmade notes is going to actually experience when he or she is going to appear in an exam. See, printed notes, I am not at all against them, but I feel they're not going to give you the memory. They are not at all going to help you remember and recall. It might happen that if you have revised them maybe 10 times, 20 times, you might be able to remember them, but who finds time to revise them 20 or 25 times? I guess hardly. If we are in the preparation, even in the internship attempt, we're able to revise a note maximum 4 to 5 times, not more than that, right? And somebody who is even starting in third year, maybe final year, who have read the notes at that point of time, that person is also going to be able to be maximum touching it 10 times or maybe 12 times. So I feel that if you make your notes handwritten in the very very beginning, they are surely going to help you, and they're going to actually prove beneficial to you in the end, right? So apart from that, when in the note making strategy, there's one very important thing which obviously I'll be wanting to highlight, is that concising the notes is a very different thing, which I'm going to tell about in further videos. But while you are making your notes, there are some overlapping topics. Overlapping topics means, like for example, in pediatrics and medicine, you have overlapping topics. There is no need of writing that particular content both in medicine and in pediatrics. We know that treatment protocol is going to be different for the peds and for the adult. That is something which we can obviously make a note of in the end. But we can obviously remember the content, or maybe write the entire content in medicine point of view, because medicine is going to give the concept as well. Similarly, there are topics overlapping in surgery. So surgery, you can actually just avoid those topics and just go back to the initial subject and make that. For example, micro and community medicine, which we have talked about. Now micro and community medicine, what is overlapping? The communicable diseases. We know that they are going to be dealt in detail in microbiology, so there is no use of going through them in the communicable diseases, except the vaccines, and if there is any program which is associated with that particular disease, do it from PSM. But when it comes to that particular disease ka background, pathophysiology, symptoms and everything, just go with micro, because anyways you have to do it there as well. For example, systemic pathology in medicine, systemic path, I don't think it is required to be done there. So I feel systemic path should be done in collaboration with medicine, because there you can obviously, in medicine only, under that particular topic you can write the pathological images or maybe the pathological impression. That is it. You are not supposed to write that particular content in pathology and in medicine as well, so that is not something which you're supposed to do, right? So and similarly hematology, like hematology, now we know in path we have to do it perfectly, so just skip it in medicine. Medicine may just individual disorders of hematology, for example, what is the treatment for AML in pediatrics and in adults, you can just write it down in pathology only in the notes section. I mean, leave certain pages and just move with that, right? And yeah, so I feel I mean, likewise, this is the way that you have to consider and figure it out, that these are the overlapping topics, and I am not supposed to waste my time on that. Why I'm telling it in detail here in this video is that because I committed this mistake in the very beginning. What I did was, in pathology, I made the notes of entire systemic pathology. Later on, when I revised medicine, I figured it out. It's almost the same. I mean, you do not need to make another notebook of systemic pathology and just revise it rapidly when you know that the entire content will be discussed in medicine anyways, right? So that is something which I will not want you to commit the same mistake again, so don't repeat that. There was one thing which I forgot in the notes making strategy. Although everybody has different ways of making the notes, and they have different strategies to make the notes, but I personally would like to recommend one very important thing. First, I have told the handmade notes. Secondly, and the most important, please use multicolored pens. That is, apart from black and blue, do use red pen for marking the previous year's questions. Do use green pen for something which is new, and do use maybe a violet or any other pen which you like, something which is very very volatile, and you have to keep on revising it every time you are flipping your pages, or maybe you are just revising those particular notes. And after almost every topic or every system, do leave 2 to 3 pages, because those pages, blank pages, are going to help you when you're going to go with your question bank, with your test and discussions, with the damn social retreat, your grand tests, mocks and everything. There is something which you have to add, so you do not have to make your notes clumsy, right? You have enough space there to add on, and you can obviously go ahead with doing that. And yes, do make diagrams and flowcharts when you are actually making your notes, and preferably, if you're comfortable, use A4 size plain sheets, because I feel it looks a little neat and cleaner, and visual to the eyes, it's really good, so you'll be able to remember that in an easier way. And when you have given your first read, in the second read, you can obviously start making the sticky notes of concising that particular topic, and just writing 4 to 5 important keywords which are going to help you crack the MCQs. The entire detailed strategy of concising the notes subject wise individually, I'm going to talk about in detail in the further videos. Till then, I would request you to just focus on these 3 important topics, that is the source selection, the timeline of the preparation, the right strategy, dividing your time in different slots, in perfect slots, that you are not having nervousness when you are approaching the exam, that you haven't given enough time for a particular division. And thirdly, the notes making strategy, which surely is going to help you out there, right? And if there is anything you guys want me to talk about and discuss in detail about the PG journey and preparation, or anything in specific with the medical field, please feel free to drop in the comment section, and I would be happy to talk about that. Till then, take care of yourself. All the very best. Keep hustling, keep going. Just do not panic and do not lose hopes. If at all somebody who has not been allotted a seat in the counseling and is just worried about what is going to happen next, just hold tight. Things are going to happen in a very positive manner, and you are going to shine in Neet PG 2024, right? So yeah, again, reminder, just go through the Instagram page. It is really going to help you in the journey, in the preparation. Bye bye, take care.